Hello. You all are very lucky you get my sexy voice today. I lost my voice talking too much yesterday. So let's get into business. We're going to talk about the 5 stages of mobile ad measurement. So this world of measurement, you guys think you have it under control. You think you know what you're doing. But actually, very few of you do, because you're not really measuring what you should be measuring, or maybe you're not measuring anything at all. But the good news is I'm going to teach you a little bit about what you should be measuring inside your app. So let's share some facts first. 50% of marketers don't measure any mobile engagement or ROI. This is not 50% of apps. This is 50% of marketers. These are companies or people that have apps and are marketing them, don't measure. 40% are only measuring app revenue. So while you know how much money you're making, you actually don't really know how you're making that money. And only 20% of marketers are actually using cross-channel data and attribution to actually understand all the impact of their marketing. So what are you measuring? So let's start with looking at this table or this chart about what you can do, or the different levels of mobile measurement. Anyone measuring an install here? One person, that's great. So you have a chance to be a beginner. Okay, so we're going to talk about the different levels of app marketing, going from being a beginner all the way to becoming a master. So installs. You're measuring your installs, and you know it's a very important funnel, but it's the beginning of the conversation, because an install means nothing to you. You can use ASO to boost your organic ranking, you can buy installs, but actually an install has no value to you because it's just the beginning of what you, as a marketer, should be measuring. The install is valuable to the ad networks because they charge you for CPI and you pay them. They make their money, they can go to the bank with that money. But you cannot go to the bank with that money because that getting a user has no value to you. So looking at this illustration here, you can see that network number 2, which generated 8,000 plus installs for you, only generated 24 cents in ARPU. Now, are you going to put your money with that network? Probably not. Network number 1 is actually much more valuable because it's generating $1.12 in ARPU. So you need to be able to identify where the best place is to put your money. Now, going from being a beginner to becoming an intermediate marketer, we're looking at not only measuring the install, but measuring what we call basic in-app events. So for example, did this person register an account? Or did this person get past level 3? Or did this person make a purchase? And attributing that back to the original source that the user came from. Was it via a social post? Was it via a SMS? Was it via an email? Was it via a QR code? So identifying that at a very basic level. Now we go from being an intermediate marketer to what it means to be an advanced marketer. Now this is vertical specific in-app events. So as a marketer, you want to be measuring things that are of value to you. So if you are an OTA, a travel company, you want to measure things like hotel search, or make a booking, or registration. If you are an e-commerce company, for example, like Jingdong or Alibaba, then you want to measure things like purchase, or log into account, or adding product to cart. Anyone here is a game developer? Three people, okay. So if you are a game developer, then you want to look at your vertical specific. For example, did the user get past level 5? Did they complete a tutorial? Did they buy a golden sword? And with this data, now you actually have much more resolution, but you're not an expert yet. To be an expert, you need to do a lot more than that. Does anyone want to get rich? 有没有人想赚钱吗？有没有？没有？ Okay. So, rich in-app events is becoming an expert in mobile measurement and an expert in mobile marketing. Now remember, I talk about the basic, which is adding a product to cart. But a rich in-app event is when you look at what they added to cart. For example, the product ID, what currency, what is that customer's ID, what is the date. And now you have much more resolution, or like we say in the industry, much more granular data that helps us to optimize much better. Here's another example. For gaming companies, you want to be measuring when a user passed the level, but passing a level is just one part of the event. Passing level 15, what is their score when they pass the level? Where did this user come from? Did that user register via Facebook or a Google account? So if they registered via Google, then maybe you find better value with users who have registered with Google. Then your insight is, I'm going to make my Google registration button much bigger. And the customer ID and the date. So now you have actually a lot more value and much more resolution to this rich in-app event. And this will help you actually to become richer. So now that you're measuring things, it actually allows you to set your business objectives. So for example, acquiring a whale. Does anybody know what is a whale? You again, okay. So if you want to acquire a whale, then you need to know what does a whale look like, right? So by using these rich in-app events, it will help you to identify a whale. And a whale is someone who spends a lot of money. And that person is going to make you rich. So you want to find more whales. Or maybe grandmas. Grandmas like to spend money in your game. In this example, grandmas aren't really over 30, they're probably over 60. But, you know, grandmas spend money too because they have nothing to do. So you want to identify grandmas who are going to spend money in your game. And now that you know what these users look like, you can actually go back to those channels that you acquired them. Was it from email? Was it from Facebook? Was it from Google? Was it from Twitter? Was it campaign ID number 19? Was it sub-publisher ID number 6? And then use that detail to optimize your campaign and optimize and optimize. And you have to optimize. You have to do the work to get good at this. And once you have this data, now what you can do is create what we call target audiences. And with target audiences, basically you can look for things like users who have been inactive for 10 days and retarget them. Or users that have purchased over $100 and have not, you know, have a high LTV but are not active in your game. So these are probably going to be the whales, and these are the guys that you want to target. So now you have the knowledge, and now you have the power to measure. So what are you going to do? Are you going to become a master to measure true ROI and get real value, understand the true value of what your users are doing? So when you are a master, you can come to us and we'll give you a little sticker that you can put on your shirt, and it'll say, I'm a mobile marketing expert, or I'm a mobile marketing master. Do we have stickers? We'll make some. So true ROI is not only understanding which click drove in the user. but you also have to understand the user journey. Which networks help to bring this network in? In this example, anybody like football? Anybody know Ronaldo or Messi? Yes, Ronaldo or Messi, they can score goals by themselves all the time, but there's only one Ronaldo and there's only one Messi. But in this industry, you need help from other people, from other networks who help you assist or bring in the installs and influence them. So you can see that somebody must pass you the ball to be able to score. In the same case that somebody must show that ad or show your product to the user, maybe once, maybe 2 times, maybe 10 times before that user is finally going to install your app. And then, when they've installed your app, then you start looking at what they're doing, how they are purchasing. For example, did they make a purchase of $350 in your app? Or did they go on to make a purchase of $1,200 from their PC? Or did they go to your store and purchase for 700 renminbi? So this is things that you need to measure. And when you're measuring everything across the entire ecosystem, then you become a mobile expert and a master at mobile advertising. So what is next? Well, anyone know Neo? You can measure at will. And that's all for me. Thank you very much.